Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Matthew, Watty's channel. Back in the game room for another episode of, well, this is more of a discussion type of video. So I'm going to start this new segment. It's really going to start in 2024, but I want to get out, at least a couple of videos out before the year turns, just to kind of give you guys a feel for what my real chat is going to be about. So just before we dive into the main discussion for the video, this video isn't going to entail any collectibles. There's nothing to show off in this video, anything like that. I do want to give you guys an update. I didn't win that Andre figure on auction, but from one of the most amazing sellers I've been able to deal with, Michael Modica, I did pick up said figure from him, along with a bunch of other Holy Grail figures. So that figure is expected to arrive on Tuesday. I'm probably going to hold off until Wednesday or Thursday before I even think about its arrival, but we'll see what happens. When I do that next Holy Grail video, it's going to be absolutely insane. I absolutely love the figures I'm going to be able to show off for you guys. And so this video, what does this video entail? Essentially, I was kind of laying in bed last night and I was thinking about, some of the folks who watches my channel and who I inspire to collect. And what if a question ever came up, is collecting worth it? And to me, that is a really fine line to kind of toe, because I really can't say what other people's prerogatives are, where they are financially, where they are in life, etc. So, like for me, I started collecting when I was 36 years old. And, I'm 38 now, and all of this has been built up over the last couple of years. So, I realized when I started collecting, there's a certain age, certain age group that you want to fall into. Right now, people between ages, let's say, 35 and 50. These are the guys who are going to have these sort of collectibles. Why? Because they're the guys that grew up playing with these action figures when they were kids, or maybe they're like how I am now and getting into different lines as an adult collector. So maybe they were 20 years old picking up LJN figures or Hasbros, etc. But I kind of look at the folks who grew up in the LJN and Hasbro era as being sort of the guys that are collecting these figures nowadays. And even when I first started collecting, I've always said, you people around age 45 to 50, your kids are grown up, they're in college, they've moved out. A lot of folks are working on downsizing, not only selling off property, but even potentially listing their house and like moving into a smaller house or even an apartment at that point. So this right now should be the period where I'm finding a lot of sellers, because not necessarily that these guys have simply stopped caring or lost interest in their collections. It's just that they just doesn't hold as much positivity as it once did. Me personally, I always say that these figures are like money in the bank. Yeah, you're paying up for them now, but are they going to be worth it if you ever try to resell in the future? For newer collections, that might be true. I kind of feel like there's a certain niche, a set of group of people, and I said right now in 2023, you basically got to be between the ages of 35 and 50 to really care about Hasbro figures or Galoob figures, Remco's, LJN, etc. So, depending on your age, is it worth it? If you're a new collector, I make these videos to inspire new collectors, absolutely. And if you're 25 years old and you're looking to acquire some of these pieces, you find them to be amazing, remember, I didn't grow up with LJN. The first time I even heard of LJN, at least the 8-inch toys, were a couple years ago when I initially picked up my first figure, the Nikolai Volkov, and held that figure in my hand and fell in love with it. And all of a sudden, I've accumulated probably one of the most massive LJN collections out there. So it's tough. I know that I'm able to buy these things because a lot of people are doing what they should be doing, and they're downsizing. For me, now speaking only on my behalf and not speaking anyone else, what they might think in the future, I've always said when I buy these collections, they're going to be with me forever. I have no intention on actually selling any of my collections. If I do have figures that I have duplicates of, yeah, I'll probably list them to see what the market is or whatnot. But even the duplicates, I have a hard time letting go of. So is collecting worth it? An item that I paid, hypothetically, let's say I go out and I buy, I don't know, what's a really expensive item out there? Let's say I pick up a Remco Matt Mania Ric Flair, or even better, Marty Jannetty or Shawn Michaels, any of the Midnight Rockers, individual pack Matt Mania Remcos. Let's say you go out and you buy one for $4,000 today. In 10 years, is that figure going to be worth $4,000 or more? I don't think so. I think all the people that are going to be interested in that figure are our age, my age, and 10 years from now, guys are going to be in their 40s and 50s, some maybe even hovering in their early 60s. At that point, no, I don't think it's going to be worth it. So when I look for Matt Mania figures, for example, I want to have the complete collection, and I definitely want those figures on card, but I just don't see the value in it overall. And people that were born in the late 90s, early 2000s, even if they're like businessmen and they're earning a huge yearly wage, do you think that they want to shell out money on Remco figures and LJNs? Something that happened 2 decades before they were born, essentially, they probably have no interest in that stuff. I kind of feel like today's modern day figures, the Mattel Retros, gives you your closest figure line that might be acceptable. But even Mattel Retros, I kind of look at it as you're not really introducing those figures to new fans. You're introducing them to fans of the 80s and 90s, people who had Hasbro figures. So it's a bunch of adults who are purchasing those figures for themselves. It's not really centered towards kids, even though that is pretty much the age limit. They put on the cards 4 up or 5 and up, and etc. Because they're for kids. That's the intended purpose. But majority of those sales are adult collectors. I just don't think Mattel Retros will ever have the kind of pricing or value that your Hasbros have today. And when you look at Mattel Retros as an example, and you see figures selling for $100, $125, $150, $200, like your Ric Flair figure and sometimes Macho Man, I think, Diesel, Junkyard Dog, those type of characters that sell for 3 figures easy. Once all of us get up there in age, once we start hovering around age 50, like I said, age 50 is usually the cutoff where most people are trying to sell off their collections. Most people have been collecting for years, decades. Maybe they started when they were kids. Maybe they started when they were teenagers or early 20s. Because I started so late in life, I can't really look at it and say 10 years from now that I want to sell off my collections, because to me, it's still relatively new. It's still relatively fresh. So when I look around the room, I still get a lot of enjoyment. It always brings a huge smile every time I look at the different things I've acquired. But I've said it before. If I didn't start this collecting phase, I could have had my house paid off by now. I could have had my house paid off a long time ago. But the collections themselves, they're probably the value of a nice sized home. So it's kind of funny. I thought about it, and I'm like, well, what if somebody came into my house right now They looked at everything that I had and, offered to PayPal me $200,000 right now to sell everything that I have in this room, collection wise. That would be a killer. I just spent so much time, dedicated so many resources to not only building relationships and finding these figures, waiting for them to come in, paying shipping and taxes. And that would absolutely kill me to lose anything out of this collection. But I would have to do what's best for the family, right? And 200 grand would pay off my house. That would leave me enough money, a ton of money left over, to start reacquiring the things that I want. So it'd be possible. I would say yes, I would have to, but the likelihood of that ever happening is unrealistic. And like I said, it would be absolutely heartbreaking to lose any of these things that I picked up. So I keep going back to that same question. Is collecting worth it? For me, absolutely. It's been a great pleasure. I think if it wasn't for this collection and coming down every now and then making YouTube videos, I would be really bored. You guys know I'm essentially retired at this time, and luckily I got some back pay that really helped pick up some new items, and with my military retirement and everything, that helps cover household bills and stuff. But for new collectors, to me, if you're relatively young, I'm talking if you're like 22 years old, 25, 29, somewhere in that vicinity, yeah, definitely worth it. You don't have to do what I did and start acquiring a massive amount of pieces, all at once or within a short amount of period. If you start at age 25, you can essentially acquire all of this by the time you're 50. And not break the bank while doing so. I know I've gotten a lot of pleasure out of this, and there are a lot of collectors that I've done business with that, I've bought up, portions of their collection, and even if it's just one LGN figure here or there, as a collector, it hurts to let go of those pieces. So I'm always very grateful to the sellers for allowing me to buy their pieces or for working with me to give me a better offer on them, etc. So that's kind of my 2 cents. Young guys obviously have more time to enjoy it, whereas for someone like me who started much later in life, at 36 years old at the time when I first started collecting, I feel like it shouldn't have been anything I really should have gotten into. But I am so grateful that I did. This has been such an amazing journey. And I've talked about how full this room is, that right now it's really difficult for me to pick up any new pieces. A couple of days ago, I did a Coliseum review with the 2 new figures that came in. And, stuff like that, Mattel Retros, I'm still going to be picking up those new figures when they come in and whatnot. But there's really no space for them. And you know how much I love to display everything on walls so that they're, at eye level or something where they're easily accessible and can be viewed. The only thing I can think of to kind of make space is probably sell my Jakks Classic Superstars, which I don't want to do. A lot of the pieces I buy is because I look at the back of the box and I try to complete that series as much as possible. And the only reason I'm considering them is because when I have them displayed, they're, like a book. You don't see the front of the figures. Not unless you're looking at the back of the wall over here, where I have all the 2 pieces and 3-piece tag team sets. Getting stuff like the Mannix bootleg figures in and kind of like these little smaller 2-inch figures. I had no idea that the bootleg figures would be as excitable as any of the other collections. So, not a very long video today, guys. I really wasn't expecting it to be some 20-30 minute video. In a nutshell, I want to do a lot more of these chat videos. Just kind of not necessarily stay away from collections or whatnot, but kind of throw my 2 cents in here and there. And hopefully this is something that, will appeal to a lot of people, especially if I don't have any new videos planned or any new ideas flowing. At least the little chat videos like this will still allow you to see something from me, and I'll have something to post. So today, again, is Friday the 22nd. Now, one figure that I'm expecting in, hopefully I'll get it on Tuesday. If I get it Tuesday, I'll make that video on Tuesday, and I'll have that posted soon thereafter. So, from when that figure arrives from Mike Modica, I'll have 4 figures from him, 4 Holy Grail figures that I picked up. And then there's from Mike Cardillo. I'm going to look at 2 of the most recent acquisitions from him. And from Ken Schwartz. What did I get from Ken? Oh, we already looked at the 4 figures from Ken Schwartz. That was the first Holy Grail video that I picked. That I kind of made with the acquisition of Big Boss Man Haku, which right here I have Haku, and right below him the AFA graded Big Boss. And I know I said that a couple of figures I'm getting or have gotten in already are 2 of the biggest Holy Grail pieces of this entire collection. At the end of the day, I'm going to probably say it in that video too, that AFA graded figure that I got of Big Boss Man, that came from Martin Ignatis. Hopefully I pronounced his name correctly. That's still going to be my all-time favorite piece of this entire collection. But so many great sellers, so many fantastic people to work with, and yeah, I'm going to enjoy making that video, giving special shout-outs to the different sellers. And I don't think I've been doing it, but I really should. Sorry about that. But I'm going to put their eBay handle and eBay link in there. And that way, if you want to check out their shops and reach out to them or whatnot, see what they have available, maybe they'll work with you and be able to get you an awesome price for whatever it is. But just don't, all I can say is just don't shortchange them. I sell on eBay all the time, right? And I hate that. I'm always willing to work with people. There's no doubt. I told you guys about the story about the LJN Jimmy Snuka that I had listed for $700, and somebody offered me $8 for it. I actually sold that one time for like $500. I had it for $700. I sent an offer. They accepted $500. They returned it to me because there was like, on the left hand, or when facing it, it would be on the right side, but there was like that much of the bubble was lifting up, and they sent it back. They did a return just because. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I would, kill to have a mint condition perfect card every time, but a lot of my cards, they might have spider veins, they might have bends in the edges or something. The bubble might be lifting. I told you about that Series 3 purple Tito Santana LJN I got from a seller in Canada, where the whole bubble was basically shattered, and I just threw tape over it, taped up the bubble as much as I could to keep it intact, and it's proudly displayed with the rest of the figures. Did I reach out to the seller and tell him I want to do a return? Did I leave him negative feedback or anything? No, because I look at the packaging and I see how well he tried to protect it. But there is such thing as overprotection, and that's what happened there. But it's just frustrating. And so I bring up the LJN Snuka as an example. If they've got something for, I don't know, think of Coco Beware. Mint on card LJN Coco Beware is like a $1,500 figure. And if you're going to come at like $500, don't do it, Tom. These are awesome guys. They deserve your business, and they're really awesome to work with. So when I do that special video, I'll bring out their names, of course, and their eBay handles and web addresses, so you can try to do business with them. Amazing folks. Highly recommend. So before I end this video, I'm going to look around as usual to see if there's anything else coming up. Yes. The LJN tournament for the managers. I've been saying about 20 managers. I think there's probably more than that with all the different customs. I haven't really gotten any feedback, so I don't know if anyone is really interested in watching that. I would love to make that tournament video to kind of close out the year, but at the same time, the videos are for the viewers, and if the viewers have no interest in watching it, it's pointless to make the video. So I want to put something out there that you guys are going to enjoy. So I'm going to probably wait another couple days, maybe Sunday night, possibly Christmas. Maybe I'll come down here Christmas Day and make a video, post it the next day or something. Yeah, so that's the plan for now, guys. As always, guys, if you have any questions or any comments for me, please feel free. Love to hear from you, what you guys think. And at the same time, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.